Hello, everyone. This is the most intelligent and magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, like I normally do once a week, I will be going over the calendar in this calendar review. And not only will I be doing that, I'm also going to be going over my spoiler review of The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 17, titled Lockdown. But for those that don't want to hear any spoilers, you will be absolutely safe from those spoilers because we will go over the calendar first, and you'll be able to tell the cutoff notice from the calendar review as I transition to the spoiler review. So, for those that don't want to know spoilers, you'll be absolutely safe. And for those that want to hear my thoughts on the latest episode, you can just stick around if you would like to. And I do apologize that I'm getting this out a day late. It is Monday night. I literally just saw the episode about more than an hour ago. Well, not hurricane, but by the time it hit Virginia, Tropical Storm Ian hit through Virginia. Specifically where I live, I lost power for like a couple of seconds at one time. I never really lost power other than that one point. I had some family members, they stayed with me for about a day or two until Monday morning, until this morning. That's when they got electricity back, and that's the reason why I'm late on this video. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good, and I'm staying safe for the most part. And I'm glad Ian is done and out of the way, honestly. And I don't think we should waste any more time. I think we should go ahead and jump into the calendar review, shall we? First up on the agenda is the Faction Level Up Tournament, which has already started today on Monday, October 3rd, and that's going to be until Thursday, October 6th. Then we have the Faction Survival Road Tournament that has also already started today on Monday, October the 3rd, and that will be until Tuesday, October the 4th. Then we have a Solo Survival Road Tournament. That's odd, there's two of them. Okay, must be some reason that there's two of them. Okay, the Solo Survival Road will be immediately starting tomorrow on Tuesday, October 4th, and that's going to be until Wednesday, excuse me. That's going to be starting on October the 4th, the solo one, and that will be ending on Wednesday, October 5th. Then we have a solo raid tournament that's going to be starting on Wednesday, October 5th, and that will be until Friday, October 7th. Then we have a solo level up tournament that will be starting on Thursday, October the 6th, and that's going to be until Sunday, October 9th. Then we have the continuation of the Skybound X2 Mythic Trials, and that's going to be until November 3rd. So we have exactly a month of that left to go. And then we have the Mythic Battle Pass Season 16, and that's still going to be going on until October the 27th. And to close out the week, we have a cross-region war that will be starting up on Friday, October 7th, and that's going to be until Sunday, October the 9th. So yeah, I don't think I have much else left to say other than hopefully all of those that were affected by Hurricane Ian, hopefully hopefully a whole lot of people didn't get hurt, but I know Florida got it especially bad for sure. And I'm pretty sure North Carolina, South Carolina, they got it pretty bad too. Virginia didn't get it that bad. Although in my town, over 2,000 people lost power during the weekend. And I was one of the lucky ones. Like, I honestly thought I was going to be without electricity. And like I said, I was for like a couple of seconds, then it came back on, and it was never an issue. And, you know, I know Florida got it pretty bad, and prayers for all of those down there in Florida, and prayers for just everybody that was affected by Ian, and thank goodness Ian is out of the way, and we can just move on as best we can. And I don't know, I wish there was a regular cross-region war this past weekend instead of a blitz war. But it is what it is, and we're going to get a regular cross-region war anyway. And I don't think I have much else left to say, so I just want to say thank you for those that only want to hear me going over the calendar in this calendar review. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to the spoiler review. So for those that want to go ahead and stick around, you may. And for those that want to go ahead and jump and you don't want to hear any spoilers, I totally understand. And I thank you for stopping by either way. Until next time, bye guys. Hello everyone. I'm back to go over my spoiler review of The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 17, Lockdown. Now, I'm not going to talk about every single thing that happened in the episode, but I have wrote down some key points which I think are pretty important to talk about in this spoiler review. So if anyone is still around that doesn't want to hear spoilers, this is your last warning to go ahead and leave now. In 3, 2, 1. Alright, for those that want to stick around, here we go with the spoiler review of Season 11, Episode 17, titled Lockdown of The Walking Dead. Here we go. The episode starts off with Judith. I assume it's Judith. She has a voiceover of, I've heard stories about how the world fell and before it fell. And I might not be saying everything exactly she says, but these are a couple of things that she says. there are people that have survived by making connections with one another and by having families, and others fell into didn't fall into, but others gave into the darkness. And those people she's referencing is Shane when he went full villain in season 2, the governor, Negan back in season 7 and 8, Alpha and Beta, and Leah from part 2, and the group she was with, what was their name? Oh man, I didn't forget their name, but they're not important. But anyway, so yeah, she goes over a voiceover. I assume it's Judith, and once that's out of the way, the episode starts with Daryl, Maggie, Gabriel, Aaron, Negan, and his wife, Annie. They are continuing to be on the run from Lance Hornsby and his Commonwealth soldiers. The assumption is that Lance and the Commonwealth soldiers saw them, and, Daryl and Maggie and all of them, they're continuing to run from them, because one shot that comes in a little bit later, not too much later, but within a couple of seconds later, is Lance says, check every door, every window, every building, So that's what I'm assuming, that Lance and the Commonwealth soldiers saw them in an area, and Lance and the Commonwealth soldiers are trying to get a message back to the Commonwealth to let them know that, hey, making up lies about Daryl and Aaron and all of those that live at the Commonwealth, because remember, Carol, Rosita, Ezekiel, Jerry, Judith, her little brother, and the little girl that Aaron is taking care of, Gracie, all of those people are still at the Commonwealth, and, everybody at the Commonwealth doesn't know exactly what's been going on outside of the walls, back in Virginia with Lance and all of that. So, they obviously want to come up with all these different plans. Gabriel says, we need to get back to the Commonwealth, we need to get our people and we need to get out of there. And Maggie is like, no, we don't need to go to the Commonwealth yet. Let's kill Lance Hornsby first. We need to go ahead and end him before we get to the Commonwealth. And Daryl is like, okay, we can do both. We can do that. And he points to Negan and he says, they have never seen you at the Commonwealth. They know all of us, but you, Negan, you are a new face. So he's like, yeah, we're going to get you to the Commonwealth. And so that's when Daryl and Negan work together in the beginning part of this episode. And those two lay a trap for the Commonwealth soldiers. And what do you know? The Commonwealth soldiers, they take the bait, and man, isn't it ironic that stormtroopers, they can't shoot. They can easily just get killed. Same thing for the Commonwealth soldiers. And the Commonwealth soldiers look a lot like stormtroopers. I mean, hey, the Commonwealth soldiers, that's what they looked like in the comics, so they definitely got that right. So, yeah, so Daryl and Negan definitely work together, and it's a pretty good scene where they lay a trap for the Commonwealth soldiers, and they just, they work together and take them out. It's pretty awesome. And so Lance and the Commonwealth soldiers, they see Daryl, so they decide to try to kill him, and this is a part of their trap for the Commonwealth soldiers, of course. And it's going to be so good to see Lance Hornsby, that SOB. It's going to be so good to see him eventually get his in these final 8. I don't know who it'll be, but definitely I don't see Lance Hornsby making it out of the series alive. Absolutely not. And of course, Daryl gets Lance and the Commonwealth soldiers to where he was at. Of course, he's not there by the time they get there. Daryl's hopped into another vehicle, and as he's driving away, he nearly runs Lance down, and Lance, he barely gets out of the way. It would have been so cool to see him just run him down, but it's quite too early for Lance to be getting killed. He eventually will, but I didn't think it was going to be this soon in the third part. So Daryl goes off in one direction. Negan is being chased by a group of Commonwealth soldiers in another vehicle. And of course, the Commonwealth soldiers, they take the bait, and Daryl just rams them with the vehicle that he took off with just a little while ago. And that finishes that little small group of Commonwealth soldiers. And of course, Lance Hornsby, he can't get a strong enough signal to get a message back to the Commonwealth. He's able to get a little bit of a message, but he just is only able to get out Daryl Dixon. That's it. And he's trying to tell them about the others. The signal isn't strong enough, so he tells another Commonwealth soldier, hey, go get a stronger signal for me and get the message out. So, we're going to go ahead and jump to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth citizens want blood. Now, there are many, probably not as many as it probably should be, but there's a big enough group of citizens that are standing and shouting outside of the city hall where Pamela Milton, where her office is. We want Sebastian. We want justice. They pretty much want his head on a stick. Like I said, they want blood based off of that article that Connie wrote. And I assume it's Connie that wrote it. It could have been her sister Kelly that wrote it. I think it was Connie. It could have been both of them that wrote that article. So that's why they want his head on a stick pretty much. He's in hiding, of course. And, Pamela Milton is trying to tell the people that all of those false reports, that the reports in the article are false, that it's nothing but lies, that her son didn't do anything, which, I'm like, come on, it's Sebastian Milton. Of course, what he was accused of in the reports, in the article, of capturing hundreds of people and making them disappear and all of that. I don't know if he indirectly did it, but I 100% think he knows about it. I think Lance Hornsby is probably most definitely behind that, and Sebastian, he just happens to know, or he's had some involvement in those people disappearing, so I don't think his hands are 100% dirty. I think the majority of those people disappearing is because of Lance Hornsby, and he does have a small network of people that were probably involved in those disappearances as well. And speaking of Lance, he was able to partially get a message to Commonwealth back to one of his 2 people. So that one of his two people, no, both of those people, I can't remember their names, but one of them was the fake Stephanie used to trick Eugene, and this other guy that it pretended to be a plumber or electrician or whatever. So yeah, so they get word to go to Carol's apartment because Carol is keeping an eye on Judith, her little brother RJ, and that little girl Gracie that Aaron takes care of. And Carol notices these two people coming their direction, so she's like, okay, we're gonna play the quiet game. So they just hide throughout the apartment, and those two fools are unsuccessful at finding them. So they're like, okay, let's go check the school, because, they're thinking in their head, okay, the kids might be at school when they're there, but they didn't really look around all that good. If they would have looked in the cabinets and stuff, they would have at least found them, but they weren't that great at trying to find them. And with all the chaos going on with the people, the citizens of the Commonwealth wanting justice, and they want Sebastian Milton, Mercer sees that Rosita isn't wearing her armor, and she's like, why? He's like, why aren't you wearing your armor? She's like, it's a personal day. And she's like, he's like, nah, I need you today, especially with all this crap hitting the fan right at the moment. So she's like, all right. She doesn't say that, but you can tell on her face. She's like, okay, all right, I'll go get ready. And one of the Commonwealth soldiers calls Mercer to the interrogation room, and he tells Mercer, you're gonna want to meet this one. This is where Negan meets Mercer. He's finally got to the Commonwealth successfully, and Negan is like, a friend told me about you. And who he means by friend, he's referencing Daryl Dixon. He obviously doesn't say his name because the Commonwealth soldier is like right there in the same room. And Mercer's like, can you tell me why you're really here? Because it doesn't seem like you really know me. And Negan mentions this girl, well, not girl, but this woman named April. I'm pretty sure April was that one woman in that house full of walkers that Rosita and Daryl find, that they try to rescue but ends up getting chewed up by walkers. I'm pretty sure that was in part 2 of this current season. I'm going to have to go back. I'm pretty sure that's who that is. I might be mistaken. But Mercer, he kind of is like, he wants to know what he's talking about, so he tells the Commonwealth soldier, go get Negan some water. And he's like, go do it now, so that way they can get the Commonwealth soldier out of there. That way Negan can really let him know why he's really there. And he's like, I got people that need protecting that are in, the Commonwealth. And he's like, he tells Negan, I just can't let you in there. We have rules. And he's like, rules, huh? He's like, why do you follow them when others don't follow those very same rules? So that gets Mercer to actually let Negan in there right from there, which I think that's a very interesting character development, because Mercer is very, very much for following the rules. And Mercer, he's probably the best character from the Commonwealth even though he is a stickler for the rules, that one time he's letting Negan just in the Commonwealth right then and there, that's a character change I really like from Mercer, because everything to Mercer probably doesn't seem on the up and up at the Commonwealth like he thought it was for so many years. He's like, I don't really know this Negan guy, but I'm just going to trust my gut, and I'm going to trust him, and I'm going to go ahead and let him in because he was sent by Daryl. So, and next we get to, let's see, Pamela, Yumiko are all leaving City Hall. They're probably done working for the day at this point. And these same people end up coming into the City Hall. Where's your son, Pamela? Where are you hiding him? He's killed people. They are really pissed off. They want blood. And Pamela, she says, I feel your pain. I share your horror. I'm so sorry, because these two people have said that our daughter went missing. She got killed, and it might be because of the Sebastian rumors and stuff about where all of these people have went missing. And she's like, I can't bring back your loved ones, but I do share your pain, and I'm so sorry. Pamela, when I reviewed the last couple of episodes, I wanted to give Pamela the benefit of doubt, but I'm like, I don't know. We'll definitely see about that. So, the Commonwealth soldiers are able to get the citizens out of there for now. No, excuse me. No, not the Commonwealth soldiers. Yumiko actually is able to get the citizens to back off for the moment, and they go on back outside or whatever, and Pamela Milton's about to leave, and she gets in her armored vehicle that she has a driver driving for her and all of that, and someone has graffitied a poster outside that says the Miltons are murderers, and that really I just loved that shot when Pamela sees it, and then the camera goes back to her face, and she has a worried look on her face, just a sadness look on her face. Maybe she knows more than she's actually letting on, and so she grabs for the walkie-talkie, and she says, B14, do it right away. And I'm like, what is that exactly? I'm thinking, are we getting an Order 66 moment right now? No, I don't think that's what that is. It's actually going to be clear, I think, what that is. And what that probably is Pamela Milton orders a lockdown for the Commonwealth. And for whatever reason, all of a suddenly there's a swarm 5 miles from the Commonwealth, so the Commonwealth is on lockdown, and I don't know, it's kind of suspicious. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this, but I think it's oddly suspicious that a swarm of walkers is all of a suddenly near the Commonwealth, not right outside the Commonwealth, but near the Commonwealth. I'm thinking maybe Pamela Milton had something to do. Maybe she had her Commonwealth soldiers release. Okay, maybe the Commonwealth had a swarm of walkers locked in somewhere nearby, and maybe she told the Commonwealth soldiers to release the walkers. That way she has a reason to lock down the Commonwealth. I don't know. Or maybe it's because of all of the people that were shouting. I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see if it was like a legitimate lockdown, or if it was a staged lockdown by Pamela. That way she had a reason to lock the community down. And, the citizens are pretty much told, okay, all of you need to go home. Governor Pamela Milton is initiating a lockdown on the Commonwealth. And if you are out of your homes by curfew, after curfew, you will be arrested for your safety. So maybe we'll find out more about that, but we'll see. So let's see what happens next. Negan is just roaming the streets of the Commonwealth, and Jerry sees Negan and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? It's odd to see you here. And he's like, okay, where's Carol? He gets right down to it. I need to find Carol. So Jerry takes Negan to Carol's apartment, and then that's when Carol has, Carol asks Jerry if he still has this attic space apparently he has, and he says yes, and she's like, okay, I need to give you the kids, and you need to take the kids up to the attic space, that way they'll be safe. And of course, when Jerry is escorting the kids to this attic space in a totally different part of the Commonwealth, those two clowns that work for Lance Hornsby, of course, picks up their trail somehow, and he's able to get some of the Commonwealth citizens to create like a roadblock, that way those two clowns can lose them, and they nearly catch up with them, but they get away for now. I feel like that might come back in a way. I'm sure it will. And Carol and Negan, they go through one of the office buildings or something. I'm not sure if it's City Hall or if it's another office building at the Commonwealth. So Carol needs Negan's help in finding info on where Sebastian might be, and they're looking through different file cabinets and all of that, and I'm assuming it's the same building they're looking in. Carol, indeed, she actually finds, I think she finds like blueprints for architectural detail on the Commonwealth in the exact building they're in, and it shows where there's a door that was, the map shows that there's a door in a certain area, but it's not there currently. It's actually a hidden secret passage that Sebastian is hiding. So yeah, Carol and Negan find Sebastian Milton hiding in the Commonwealth. And so Negan and Carol, they take Sebastian. No, actually, I'm skipping ahead just a little bit. Okay. Once Carol and Negan find Sebastian, they're planning on taking him back to Pamela's house. And this is where one nosy civilian recognizes, oh, that's Sebastian. I found him. Let's get him. I found him. So Carol takes Sebastian on, and Negan is like, okay, I'll go stop this nosy prick. So he does. He pushes him to the ground, only for a Commonwealth soldier to knock out Negan, and I assume Negan is going to be in the Commonwealth jail. So, because this is when the lockdown has already begun, and it's after curfew, and, the Commonwealth soldiers and this one dude, I believe his name was Henderson. I could be remembering his name wrong. He's like one of the people that works pretty closely for Pamela Milton, and he warns the people, okay, it's curfew, you people need to go back to your homes. and they're all surrounded by a memorial, right outside the city hall. And he's like, all right, these people aren't listening, so let's just let them have it. The Commonwealth soldiers, they use tear gas and they knock the civilians out with tear gas. So yeah, I think it's morning. Yeah, this next scene is the morning. Carol brings Sebastian Milton to Pamela Milton's house. And, right before this, Yumiko, she's like, wants to know, do you think your son is actually innocent? You really think he didn't have anything to do with all of these people disappearing? And she says, okay, I'll admit my son is a little renegade, but I don't believe he's a murderer. I'm like, I don't know, I don't think Sebastian Milton is that innocent. It's like, he's a total prick. But anyway, Carol comes there and brings Sebastian Milton with him, and Pamela Milton looks really relieved to see Sebastian that he's fine. She hugs him, and then she smacks him across the face, like really hard. And she says, not only have you ashamed me, you have ashamed yourself. She's like, what do you have to do with this, with all of this? She's like, you need to tell me more, that way I can save your ass. And, I kind of believe her a little bit about that she didn't hide him and that she actually believes that her son is innocent, but part of me thinks that she probably knows and she's just pretending, she's putting on an act. 100% Lance Hornsby is a SOB. There's no doubt about Lance Hornsby. Man, he is a piece of work for sure. Sebastian Milton is definitely a prick, and I think, like I said earlier, I think Lance Hornsby definitely had the involvement of all of those people missing. I think Sebastian Milton at least is generally aware of all of these people that have went missing. And not Sebastian, but Pamela Milton, she's a wild card because I don't know. She could be telling the truth, that she absolutely did not hide Sebastian at all, that she generally isn't aware of all of these, knowing the fact that Sebastian is aware that all of these people went missing and all of this, but then she probably could be, letting on, she probably knows more than she's letting on. Pamela Milton is definitely a wild card. I kind of want to believe her, but I kind of don't. We'll definitely find out, I'm sure. So, yeah, Lance Hornsby is a total piece of work for sure. And I definitely believe that he's behind all of those people disappearing and getting killed. Sebastian Milton, I think maybe he didn't actually get his hands dirty, but I definitely think he's at least aware in one way or another for sure. And Pamela Milton is definitely a wild card. She could also be in on it, but she could be innocent. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the show's going to do with those characters for sure. Especially with Pamela. I mean, she's a typical dang, I can't talk. She's a politician, but I don't know. She's a wild card for sure. And I know I'm probably going a little out of order here, but we're getting to the end of it. We're going back with Daryl, Maggie, and Nim. They're, of course, outrunning continuing to run and hide from Lance and the Commonwealth soldiers. And, Lance and all of them, they have a checkpoint up ahead of this certain area where they're hiding from them. And the Commonwealth soldiers and Lance Hornsby, they have all bases covered. So, they're like, is there any way we could get behind them? And I think Annie says, not without them seeing us. So she's like, alright, I got an idea. Let's go underground in the sewers. That way we can go right under them. They go down underground to the sewers. And Daryl is like, what if we lure them down here with us? So one of them fires a gun to get their attention underground. So of course they fall for it. And, they are able to take out two of the Commonwealth soldiers, Daryl and Aaron, that is. And the episode pretty much ends with them, all in a standoff. Daryl is able to get behind Lance Hornsby, knife ready at his throat, and they got all guns pointing at each other. And Daryl demands Lance Hornsby to tell his Commonwealth soldiers to drop their guns. And Lance Hornsby, all that SOB, that piece of work, he has this sinister smile, and the episode just cuts to black. And that's where the episode ends. And if there's any details that I forgot, I do apologize. I think I covered most of it. I might have forgot one or two little things, but you know what? I did forget one little detail. I know this is a little out of order. So that swarm that is getting pretty close to the Commonwealth, the Commonwealth military, that includes Mercer, Rosita, and the rest of the Commonwealth soldiers that are there. And I will tell you guys about that as soon as I get back. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Harley wanted in at a bad time. But anyway, okay. We're talking about Mercer, Rosita, Commonwealth military. Okay, and the swarm. The swarm is getting pretty close. Yeah, the swarm's getting pretty close to the Commonwealth, so they decide to personally go out there and go deal with it. And well, Mercer tells Rosita pretty much, hey, I need people that I can trust to do this, and I trust you. And I thought that was some more good character development by Mercer. I'm gonna say I'm really liking the character Mercer, for sure. He's definitely one of my favorite parts of this final season, for sure. He's a really good character, and I can't wait to see his character change, if that's the direction that they're heading into, which it does seem like that with all of the chaos going on at Commonwealth. And one of the hold on, guys. Well, come on. You want to come on in? No, come on now. You got to get up. I gotta finish this. You've interrupted me twice. I'm sorry. Anyway, that was Harley at the door. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully I don't get any more interruptions. Alright, so Mercer, Rosita, and a couple of the Commonwealth soldiers are outside of the walls dealing with the Horde. And one of the vehicles that has a turret on it flips over on its side, so they go to help the Commonwealth soldiers. They are able to help out one of them, and, well, the other one isn't so lucky. He ends up getting torn apart by walkers, And it tears up Mercer emotionally, and I really love that from a character development standpoint, because I'm sure he's worked with all of these people, for a very long time, and to see another one bite the dust, that's really getting to him emotionally, and I just love that for his character development. And I don't think I forgot anything else. No, I don't think so. And yeah, that's going to do it. Not only for the not character review. Man, I really need to log off. Not only is that going to do that, not only is it going to do it for the calendar review, but also this spoiler review. And I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.